Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schauber, and I've got with me Curtis and Doug. Now, what we want to do is another video on, this is kind of another question we get a lot of, how do I get into the alcohol business? How do I get in the industry? Industry being, you know, very broad.
Not going out and buying a bottle.
Right. Not buying a bottle.
Anybody can do that.
But actually getting
How do I get Curtis's job?
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
So how do I get your job?
Question.
I don't want your job because that would really limit the use of my show. But, you know.
The bigger picture here is that you need to look at the three major different divisions of alcohol. There is the sales side of it, which is you're going to turn into a car salesman selling alcohol.
Right.
There is the marketing side of it, which I'm in. And my whole job is to try to influence you into buying our product, which isn't hard because I have good product. The other side of that is being in a managerial role to make sure that both of those pieces are working together.
You forgot there's a fourth one.
Drinking?
Consumption.
Yeah, but there's no job for consumption. Like, excuse me, can I get paid for this?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll pay you
Sometimes
50
it can
grand a year
feel like a
for
job.
It does. I punch that card all the time. It's funny though because I constantly am getting hit up by people that are like, oh, you don't pay for booze and you get to go on cool trips and you get to do all these things, and it's a very cool job. The problem being is that there's not lots of them. There is not a surplus of these jobs, but there is huge turnover in these jobs. So the bigger thing that you need to look at is that if you have a job that is very small, very selective as to who they're hiring, and you don't have experience, you need to build up a portfolio of experience.
So is that where drinking comes in?
No. I took on two different sides of this. I started with a mentor. I had a guy that had been working for Johnny Walker for a very long time who took me under his wing and pretty much started teaching me everything I needed to know about alcohol. And then I started going nuts with that. I went out and got certifications. I started writing for publications.
I remember that.
I started...
You don't do that anymore?
No, I'm not allowed to. Yeah.
So as you go up in the ranks, you get more restricted on what you can do.
Yeah. The bigger thing is that I do my show with you. Mm-hmm. The more people notice you and the more that you are surrounded by other people that work in the industry, sooner or later people will start recognizing you and you will then have a chance to move into the business.
What type of certification?
There's different ones that you can go for, but the ones that I would shoot for are the CSS test, which is the Certified Spirit Specialist. And
Do you get to drink?
Yes.
This is just
Are
helping
your
everybody.
products available in Canada?
Yes. From that, the other one to take is bar.
Are they available in New Zealand? What's up, Kiwis? You're beautiful. Don't change.
Does he get a glint when he does that one?
I don't edit that far in, but if I did edit that way, yeah, he'd get it.
Totally
And the
get
sound, too.
Okay.
Love you. Yeah.
So the CSS.
CSS is a big one.
Bar
New York is a big one. That one's insane. Outside of that, the other ones that you can take are... There's a couple single malt Scotch ones that you can take that are really helpful, but really the CSS is the biggest one.
Okay.
That's cool.
Oh, and you should probably take your tip certification because every company requires that.
Yeah, that's supposed to do that.
Outside of that should be pretty useful. I mean, it's... I know that it's not a straightforward answer like, just send your resume to so-and-so.
Resume at Great Places to Drink.
It is a matter of putting in the legwork. It took me a year and a half to get this job.
That's not bad.
I need to go and register that name real quick. Greatplacestodrink.com.
But I mean, if you did it,
Your house. That's all I was gonna say. It's gonna be like your house.
how long would you think it would take a normal person? Because that seems too short. Like, for instance, let's say I want to do. I want to own McDonald's, not the whole, just a franchise of McDonald's, right? And I want to start from
I want to own
a fry cook.
I want to own all of them.
If I start as a fry cook, I'm looking at 10 years.
I got lucky because of Randall. I think that having Randall helped out a bunch. But I think that if you start going to stuff where a lot of the marketing people are, I think that over a period of time, you could get into a full-time job probably in a 3-year stretch.
What about the writing piece? Does that help?
I think it helped out a ton. I think it helped me be noticed as somebody more than just nobody.
But I think now, do you have to write for major publications, or can you just blog?
You could just blog, but it needs to be something where people notice it. Because if you're an influencer,
right,
then it's giving you credibility.
So then the problem is you have to blog. And this is what I've learned.
Huge Twitter following, huge Facebook following. Like all of those things are important to companies now, especially on the marketing side of alcohol. Like the more that you can influence people and you can show the companies that you're able to influence people, you're going to have a better chance of getting a full-time job in a liquor company. I think that the bigger picture here is that all liquor companies have gotten to a point now where they're not hiring people because of their liquor experience. They're hiring them because of the affluence that they would be able to bring to that job. Like they meet brand representation, but they also are able to affect the consumer on a sense that if I walked into a room, I can have a conversation with you. I am not intimidating to you. You might want to buy my product because of what I have to say to you.
So you need to be a human. I mean, you have to be like an all-around gentle, nice person as opposed to... Well, you wouldn't be able... If you were the douche,
human.
right?
Yeah, because that's a pretty broad thing. Like, if you're human, then you can get
it does help. No, but... Yeah, if you're a douche, you're not going to do it. If you have a hard time...
Surprised.
Well, yeah.
Life experience is big, too. Like, I know a lot of companies a couple years ago were hiring ex-NFL players.
Really?
Yeah, because people would, like, want to talk to them and...
Okay, that's true. That makes sense. I mean, you're already kind of a celebrity at some point.
Yep.
But if you're not, let's just say there's somebody who's been watching the show and they want to be able to do what you do. To me, writing is a good one because it's easy entry. You could start a blog to get credibility, to get to a writing, to a small writing establishment.
And it works out, too, because it's like once you're credible, like once there's enough people that actually read your blog, then you start contacting the marketing firms that actually are the people that I work for.
Right.
And we send you products. So, like, you know how you've got a lot.
I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. You get a ton of product because you have credibility.
Right.
Once they get credibility, they'll start getting free booze, too. And they'll be like, wow, this is easy as hell. But the outside of that, too, is that the marketing companies start noticing them and go, oh, well, Derek, he's a really good, like,
obviously,
you know,
human.
He's a human.
I am the best human ever.
We should hire him to be a brand ambassador. But then he has no hair, and then they just don't call you.
Well, I don't get the job. You don't have hair either. Nobody in that industry has hair because it's hairless. No, so but I've, as somebody who's done video game blogging and editorials and been like an editor in chief because I made up the title, and some of the people that worked under me for free. And most of this is free, right? They were blogging on semi-reputable sites and then went on to go into the game industry through real magazines and QA testing and other things in the industry. They were able to branch out, but they had that credibility. And what they would do is if they're writing for me or writing on their own blog, they can send examples, right? What the heck is going on over here?
Making goo eyes at each other.
This just got really awkward. Anyway.
I told him that was going to happen during one of the filmings today.
Okay, glad that's over with. But then the goal being with Facebook and all these things, you should be able to do a lot of this.
Still? No,
you're over it.
He never
I don't feel good because I haven't gotten. You haven't drawn me yet. See, that's what it is.
We'll get him a piece of paper.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe towards the end of the night. Then I'll just be brokenhearted.
Are we back yet?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So, but for the folks that watch the show, they can get themselves a Twitter account and a Facebook account pretty easy. It's cheap.
Pretty much.
It's free, right? And you can start writing. Then you talk to people like me, and I can give you spaces to write and stuff like that, and then use that free work to get a real job.
Yes.
Slowly.
Does that explain everything? Everybody feel like they're good with that? Mm-hmm. That's how you get my job. But no, you can't have it.
And you work really hard at it while you're doing it.
I'm working so hard right now.
Dude,
I know.
it's hard.
I know.
It's hard work. Anyway.
Say it.
Right. There you go. We're done. EverydayDrinkers.com. We're teaching you how to drink.
Or get jobs.
Oh, wait. We're going to teach you how to get a job.
A job involved drinking.
Drink your way to an awesome job and career path in the alcohol industry. Keep drinking.
Done.